This is my first attempt in Sebi exam. Phase 1 I cleared and phase 2 I remember nearly some questions. I don't remember few. So I so far able to collect around 94 questions which I will be sharing in this video. Yeah. First I will be taking a list of three subjects: finance, economics, commerce and accounts. Only the questions from these three subjects I will be giving first. After that, Companies Act, costing and management. Yeah, first one. I remember there are two questions on BOT. One is just the definition, build, operate, transfer, and the second one, what does a what does public sector company do in this? What does private sector company do in this? Ultimate ownership lies with public. I remember, but funding and some building and maintenance will be done by private. With those two logics, I just eliminated the options. And coming to next one, term loans. I remember one question: how will the banks consider what kind of loans are classified as term loans? Something like that. I remember greater than 1 year. And one basic fintech definition, they have given all this technology, all these are helping and especially they have mentioned about financial services integration. So fintech comes into the picture. It is one of the option, and it's easy also. We can do it with elimination. And triple B plus Japanese is the rating, which I remember triple B plus in some video, and I have just got it like this only. And in the exam, I have got it right also. And coming to the next question, the difference between the minimum value and the maximum value in a set of numbers, it is called range. And section 154 is the answer, something related to Income Tax Act. Like if a officer does any mistake, he can rectify according to which section, something like that. Section 154 is the answer. And commercial banks, if they are having any surplus in the interest, where they need to classify them, the answer is something like other reserves. And one question is there on GST. A foreigner is the buyer and the person from Indian supplier is involved. Then IGST is the options. And one more question, it is very easy. 20% is nominal interest rate, 8% is inflation. We need to find out real GDP. It is difference of 20 and 8, that is 12. This is very easy. And one question, this question came for me as the first question. The RBI, they have mentioned with some laws, RBI, some acts, everything, but one is incorrectly matched. NBFC 2002 is mentioned. So we should find the incorrect. That is the answer. And one more thing is ETF expense ratio. This expense ratio, I guess those who remember might have given, but it's very difficult. 0.9%. And one more question is there. The answer is DPI India stack is the answer. And one more question on 0.5 paise coins. How many coins you can hold? How much value legal tender you can hold legally? So maximum of 20 coins, that is 10 rupees is the answer. 10 rupees. Options were there: 5, 10, 20, 50. I remember. But 10 is the correct answer. And one more is on GST. Sorry, not GST, income tax. How much is the donation which can be done through cash maximum? That is 2000. And one more question on GST about input tax credit. How many days something filing? Answer is 180 days. And one more question on AIF, alternate investment fund, but this is some old data. 25 crore is the answer. Angel investors participation. How much it can be there? Something 24 crore, 25 crore. And one more question on GST form. I don't remember GST forms, so I don't remember exactly what it is. And one more question is there on money market instrument. Which of the following are money market instrument? In options, there are many, but COD, certificate of deposit, is the answer, not bonds. And non-convertible debentures, the denomination value is 10,000. Zero coupon bond is or treasury bills. Bima Sugam is the answer, something related to insurance. And one more question on definition of forward, futures, and contango. All this I remember. One more question. This is on something PAN number section 270. I don't know who will be answering this, but I left this question PAN. And one more question on different goods, Veblen goods, bandwagon goods, knob goods, and some statements. And one more question on CDS, Bank A, CDS, Bank B. One bank denomination is 1 lakh and other is 5 lakh. Before the denomination used to be 5 lakh. Now COD denomination is 1 lakh. We can CDS denomination. We can check it in online. And FDI and some statements are given regarding FDI. I left it due to time constraint. AS2, one question is there on inventory. We should not include construction work in progress. I remember that. AS10 is something related to revenue recognition and bearer plans, mining, all these details are there. Insurance companies follow direct cash flow method, not indirect, direct cash flow method. Monopolistic competition, some statements were given. Money multiplier, I remember 1 plus k by k plus or around 2.5 is the answer. Demand and supply, there were large statements, some four statements, and there were income relation and everything it is there. Next, opportunity cost, one question is there, it's very easy. For normal cash, what is the opportunity which is lost? The interest which we earn, that is the opportunity lost. And numerical on NNP factor cost and personal disposable income numerical, one numerical only that is. And one question on indicators, leading, lagging, coincident. I remember lagging indicator is unemployment, so I marked accordingly like that. And what is the basic definition of event and a transaction in terms of political context, like for government? See, transaction means anything which involves money. Event means anything it can be, but does not involve money transaction or money exchange. And CRR and SLR are direct tools, and indirect tools are repo and other tools. I remember this. And one more question is there on forward rate. It is the numerical question. And one more question like CDS stands for buyer pays the premium, seller receives the premium, like that matching. One more question on GST. I remember the answer is 120%. And one more question, comparison of cost and NRV, whichever is lower, and 14,000 is the answer. And one more question like OT statements. OTC means customized forwards. We have to match. Not match, we have to just find out in the options. And bonus shares, what we cannot do, how we cannot give bonus shares by revaluation reserves, we cannot issue bonus shares. And what are the uses of security premium? Some options are there, all of the above. Government borrowings, some related definition is given. Fiscal surplus or deficit, some terminology is given. Borrowings is, if borrowings are there, it is deficit, fiscal deficit. Accounting, some definitions are given like identification, classification, analysis, or summarizing or interpreting, something like that. And we need to map, and it's easy. And financial statements should not have what trait should not have, personal bias should not be there. And AS9, one question on interest, how the interest should be uh, measured. It is measured according to time proportion basis. And revaluation of PPE is again depreciation. Entire class of same assets should be for them. We need to do depreciation. And one more easy question: 2:5 bonus ratio is given. A person is holding 5,000 shares. Now, how many he will have? So 7,000 he will have. And this is all about all these three subjects. Now, Companies Act, Management and Costing. Companies Act, IEPF application section 125, all of the above I remember. And applications, what should be done. Auditor services, what should not be given. And that is also all of the above. And one more question on dates: 30 days plus 7 days unpaid dividend account. That is dividend declaration chapter. And section 1, sorry, it's not section 150 crores numerical, 90% is application, it is section 39. But 90% is application money, 135 crore, that is correct. And the question they clearly asked how much is the percentage regarding Sebi. It is 25%, definitely not 5%. And one more question is given on a meeting will be held on 19th January but could not be done. It should be done in next week, 26th January. But it is Republic Day, so next day, 27th January. So is the right answer. And I remember definitely they asked for the appointment of registered valuer. Here, in case of registered valuer, not nomination and remuneration committee. Here, the audit committee only appoints him. In case of absence of audit committee, the board appoints the registered valuer. And one easy question: buyback is which section? Section 68. And one question on linking pin. It is in management. The answer is manager can head or be present in the part of two groups, one group A and group B. He can be part of both the groups so that he can analyze and link both. So, in such a way that manager will become the linking pin. JIT does not depend upon defective free is the answer. And one question is there on costing, what it does not tell selling price. And labor rate variance, one numerical I remember. It's very easy. Standard rate minus actual into actual hours. Cost of conversion is they have given indirectly. Cost of production minus cost of direct materials. And one more question on what it can be controlled. It is not ordinary one, it is abnormal spoilage. And 65, the next question, it is very easy. The contribution, it is very direct one. Contribution is sales minus variable cost. And one more easy one is 6s safety. And how many wastes are there? Total 7. And Kaizen is not for short term is the answer. BPR is Porter's value chain. One more question is there. The answer is Porter's value chain. And batch costing is other name is a kind of job costing. It is easy. Budget is a quantitative plan for a period. Role of management accountant has changed. How it has evolved? It has evolved into an analysis role. Analysis is there in some option. Ideal standard is one of the answer for the benchmark. And the cost control, one definition they have given, and it's easy. And TPM they have given one question. It is regarding cellular manufacturing, and integrity is the answer. And one more question in management, it is autocratic versus participative is the answer. One more question on Maslow regarding banking account, BSBDA, basic saving bank account, relationship manager, term deposit, like that. Path goal leadership is something related to achievement oriented. And Nadler does not include what in HRD. It's not education. The answer is performance appraisal. And one more question on planning. And they have given like what is the first step, objectives, selecting alternatives, Evaluating alternatives should come in the later stage. Objectives should come in the beginning stage. Like that, you can eliminate the options. And one more question on Her- Hertzberg recognition. Recognition is not a hygiene factor. It's an inside intrinsic motivating factor. It's not a hygiene factor. Selective perception is one answer. I remember the question is something like the person want to view as you want to see. It is something like that. Answer is selective perception. And one more question is on formal organization does not have which character, something like personal traits or personal bias. Administration versus management, one question is there. Autocratic versus participative is also is there. For one question, answer is administrative versus management. And one more question on fielder, task oriented leader will win over relationship oriented leader. That is the question. And the option which is right is will be having like this the words. Team will have some exceptional skills. So then the task oriented leader will win over relationship oriented leader. One more question is there on storming, forming, a group formation. Here the 2 and 4 options are interchanged. And one more question is there on management, whether it is art, science, or it is both, is something the answer. It is easy. One more question is there on leadership with options personal. Yes, personality is fixed, and whether the leadership is fixed, no, it varies. And personal objectives, no, it should not be there. Something like this. And one more question on smart, specific, measurable, achievable, reliable, and time bound. It is very easy. One question on transformational or transactional leadership. Transformational increases the morale in the group. Something like that is the answer. One question on basic esprit de corps. The answer in the options is team spirit. One of the option. And two questions which I missed from economics or finance that section. Now I'm bringing here. One question on we need to find whether the action done by government is contractionary or expansionary. See, expansionary means when we are expanding and the government invests. Contractionary means when we are not doing good but still the government invests. Something like that. Or something to make a downturn. And coming to floating versus fixed securities interest rates, one question is there. And that's it. Total 94 questions I am able to recollect, and around 75 I am getting correct. I don't know how much I will get, but need to check the other questions also to get the exact score. Only Sebi knows, and we need to wait for the result. Before result, or if anyone wants to prepare seeing the PYQs of 2026, this video can help, and I can assure that these 94 questions are sure shot. Around 93, I can definitely say sure shot. Thank you.